Okay.
Can we get started on the body?
Here we go.
Do you think my mic's okay there?
Yeah, I reckon it'll be fine. I'm just trying to make myself comfy. We are 2 seconds in, this guy's already broke our mic. This is going swimmingly.
You do the honours.
Hi guys, welcome to the 220-somethings podcast. This is me and Skye's new venture together. So, yeah, here we are, episode 1, and we're just going to basically chat a wee bit about what we're going to be doing. And
Don't be awkward.
What?
Don't be awkward.
I'm not awkward at all. We're going to chat a wee bit about what we're going to be doing on the podcast, and yeah, give basically like a bit of an introduction as to who we are and how we ended up here.
Exactly.
And just chat a wee bit of shit along the way, to be honest.
And to be fair, we know exactly what everyone's already thinking anyway. Who the fuck do these two 20-somethings think they are, sitting at a mic, chatting shit? So, yeah, we already know that.
Yeah.
We already are aware that we actually shouldn't be sitting here, but we're just two pals who like to chat shit, like going to the gym. So we thought that we'd make it a podcast not just about going to the gym, just kind of about like navigating just being in your 20-somethings, because it's a tough time.
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to say was we could start off basically with just explaining how we ended up coming up with the name and the concept of it. So it was actually your idea. So it was. Originally, the idea was obviously classic, cliche, two PTs starting a podcast would be talking about fitness and everything to do with fitness. But obviously, there's a lot of that going around these days. So spicing it up a wee bit, adding the twang of being 20 years old, owning a business, being involved in the fitness industry, competing in multiple different disciplines, managing all that with friendships, relationships, home life, stuff like that. So, because at the end of the day, it is all stuff that people who aren't in their 20s in the position we're in don't really have to deal with otherwise. So we're kind of coming at it with a bit of a different concept and a different angle.
And as well, it couldn't be completely fitness related because me and you are two self-confessed absolute fatties.
Yes,
we
absolute
love food.
fatties.
We
literally were walking here and I was like, oh, there's a kebab shop, maybe we'll get something after it to comfort me.
And I was like, can we go into the sweetie shop on the way home?
Exactly, get some sweets to make us feel a bit better.
So yeah, just even if you're not into the gym, we wanted this to be something that you could listen to whilst you're at a walk, having your morning coffee, doing your cardio, whatever that might be. So yeah, there's absolutely no kind of structure to today, as you can probably already tell.
Yep.
But we just wanted to test it out, see what it would be like in front of the lights, in front of the camera, as well, because me and Ben are very good at chatting shit, but this was a very last minute decision. Like, we've discovered as well that I'm very type A and you're very type B.
I'm very type B. I'm very much like not really prepared or overly prepared and just kind of wing it and see what happens, whereas Skye on the other hand is like complete stress box. Like if everything isn't written down in the exact script and like we've got an exact time and stuff like that, it's like stress city.
So nothing is scripted today, absolutely nothing at all. And yeah, we were running late. We were running up and down this street because Ben decided to go the complete opposite direction. Yeah, I was bursting for a pee and I'm having a Red Bull.
Google Maps, I'm calling you out. You sent me to the wrong building, I'm telling you. I'm calling you out here on the podcast.
Right, so should we get into it then?
Yes, let's get into it.
So we're just going to start off with a nice little introduction into who we are. So do you want to go first?
Sure I will. So my name is Ben Burns. I am 22 years old. I own a personal training business and I work at a performance gym, Irvine. My personal training business is called Feel the Burns Fitness, which a lot of people like to slag rotten, but I think personally it's iconic because everybody knows me by it. Everybody knows it because it's funny, it's catchy. I've been a personal trainer for just over 3 years. So, yeah. Pretty much. The story of me is I was in school, everybody was going to university after school, everyone had a clue of what they wanted to do. I had absolutely no idea, so I didn't really commit myself to any sort of university course or college course because I thought, well, what's the point of me doing something that I don't actually know I want to do? I'm not going to commit to something for potentially 4 years of my life that I might end up just leaving after a year. Over here. So I left school and I started working part-time, making a bit of money on the side. And
where did you work?
I actually worked, are we calling them out? Are we giving them a mention?
No, just where did you work?
So my first proper job was I worked in a bar in Irvine called Pictures, which is quite iconic to all all the fandom that are from, you know, the Shire, North Ayrshire. Pictures Bar and Nightclub, so I got a job there when I was 18, and again, as I said, I started making a bit of a living, making a bit of money, just obviously going about, doing as I do.
You know how you're saying that you didn't want to pick something and stick to it kind of like 4 years, and you just chose PT because you weren't really sure, or becoming qualified because you weren't really sure. What was it, like, kind of out of everything else that made you choose to go down that path? Like, you could have done joinery, you could have done like loads of other different things, you could have worked in a supermarket. So what was it that made you choose getting your PT qualification as opposed to something else?
So it was actually through basically a bit of an idea that was sprung on me through my first job. Basically at that point, I'd shared with my boss at the time my kind of transformation of obviously going from being overweight in lockdown to then obviously dropping a lot of body fat, going to the gym, building a little bit of muscle. Shared that with him through just like general conversation one time, and then I think maybe like a week or two later he turned to me, he was like, so what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't really know. And he's like, you can't work in a bar the rest of your life. And I was like, I don't know, I've not thought that far ahead. And he's like, why would you ever do something like where you're helping people out the same way you helped yourself out, like as in through the routes of like personal training or something? And I was like, I've never actually thought about it. And then the more I started thinking about it, there was actually someone else in that same job who was thinking the exact same thing. And through said person, they said to me, look, I think I might actually go for this. I might actually go and try and get my personal training qualification. So I said to him, I was like, do you know what have I got to lose? I've saved up money, not knowing what I'm going to do with it. You know what I mean? I could have bought a car, I could have put it towards a mortgage, you know what I mean, stuff like that, or saved for a house. But instead I had this money saved, and I thought, okay, there's a course here that I could go for that might potentially open up a window of opportunity for something that could be my dream job, which I didn't know about. So I did, and then I committed to it, and pretty much from the get-go, like as soon as I started, I knew straight away that this is something I was going to fall in love with.
And we've both did our PT qualifications differently, haven't we? So you went to college?
No, I didn't. I did a course. I did a 12-week course with Pegasus Training, where it was...
What did you go to college for?
Oh, I went to college after school for like 2 months to do like mechanical engineering, because in secondary school I did an elective course and it was mechanical engineering, and the closest thing I could think of that I was thinking, I was like, maybe I'll go do something, was mechanical engineering. I thought I'll go do that. First day in college, they were like, right, everybody go take the spark plugs out of your car. And I was like, where the fuck are the spark plugs? I have no idea. I was very good at monkey see, monkey do, but I didn't actually give a shit about cars. So I was like, this is not for me. So technically I tell a lie when I said I wasn't going to commit to a college course or uni course.
Just weren't going to commit like 4 years to something.
I wasn't
going to
commit
you were going to enjoy
to something. I thought I'll maybe go for something that I know I kind of enjoy, and then from that moment I was like, this is not for me. This is not for me. So no, I did my personal training qualification through Pegasus Training, which was 12 weeks long, and it was Monday to Friday full time. Started at 9 o'clock till about 5 o'clock.
See, that's where I'm getting mixed up. So mine was all online, apart from my practical exams. They were in person. But yeah, I thought you went to uni for yours. College.
No, I didn't. Sadly, some part of me wishes looking back that I did. If I knew that's what I wanted to do earlier on, I would have rather go down the route of university, because I feel like you're probably going to get a whole lot more information out of it. However, I feel like it's done me well so far. It's served me well, and I feel like it's one of those things as well where you've obviously spoke about it a couple of times. As long as you don't finish your education once you've done your course, you have the potential to become a really good coach. And I've never stopped. Like, I'm going to college next year to do sports therapy, but I'm verging away from what I was talking about. I was kind of getting. Can
I get some mic time, please?
I know, getting caught in the moment. So basically, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. It was in Glasgow at the Village Hotel, right across from the Hydro. Nice. I didn't drive at the time, so it was pretty much train every morning and then train every night. That like consumed my week, because even when I went home, I would go to the gym, I would train, I'd go back, I'd study, and then weekends I had to hang out with my mates. But even at that, most of the time I spent like falling in love with what I was learning, because at the end of the day, everyone else in the course I think wasn't really as interested in it as I was. Whereas like this to me was like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, we're talking about like biomechanics, we're talking about anatomy. Like, I'm a massive nerd about anatomy, stuff like that. So it very much was a case of, like, it was a very knowledgeable course, but it was something that I was actually interested in, and I picked that up quite quickly.
So would you say that having, like, passion for fitness and passion for helping other people was the reason why you became a coach?
Yeah. Definitely. Again, even though it wasn't through the outlet of me finding that out myself, I definitely think that at the start, being able to be in a position where I could help out people achieve something that I did, knowing how good that made me feel about myself, how much of an accomplishment that felt like, that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to just help people do what I did, because I know how it makes you feel. Yeah. So, yeah.
On to me.
On to Skye G Fit now.
See, on the car, he was like, can you give me a nod or a signal when I'm going off track, or if I'm chatting shit? So I need to come up with something wee something.
Yeah.
So my backstory, a bit about me. I don't know why I feel awkward talking about myself. I still feel awkward.
You've done
I don't
it
feel
so
like
many
I'm
times.
relaxed.
Yeah, you've done it so many times.
I know. I can't.
To be
talk.
fair, we are only like the first 10-15 minutes into this podcast, so I think we're doing okay so far. You can let us know, obviously, how it's going.
He's stealing my time again.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the iconic Skye G Fit.
So, my name's Skye Gibbons, more commonly known as Skye G Fit. That very iconic line that I know you all hate to hear coming. But I am 24 years old and I'm a female-only fitness coach. So, the same as Ben, I work in Performance Gym in Irvine. Best gym around. If you haven't been, go. If you don't know, get to know. Good vibes, good equipment. And a lot of good people in there as well. So I'm a female only coach, meaning that I work with females only. There is a place for the theys and the gays, but I do think that it's just where I'm comfortable. I wouldn't feel comfortable like helping a guy with a bro split. It's just not where I'm confident. It's not where my expertise lies. And not that I'm an expert in female health, but I am one myself. So I do feel like I've got some kind of knowledge on that area. I have been a coach for the kind of same length of time as Ben now, coming up on 3 years. 3 years about this time. I didn't actually do anything to celebrate this year, to be fair, but
yeah, I think
this can be the celebration.
I'm actually thinking now, is it over 3 years? Yeah, it is over 3 years. It would be 3 years in June there. Yeah. So it's 3 years and however many months.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So how did I end up being a PT? Well, so I left school in 5th year, actually. I never wanted to become a coach, or it wasn't actually something that was ever on the forefront of my mind because I grew up fat, right? And when I left school, I went to college instead of doing 6th year because I didn't do too well in my higher exams. Turns out saying you're studying but actually just sitting on the library on your phone doesn't really work. And then I went to college and I studied social sciences. After there, I went to uni and did an honours degree in society, politics and social policy, but don't ask me any questions about politics because I won't be able to tell you the answer.
What was it that made you choose that course?
So even though the degree name is society, social policy and politics, it was more the sociology I was interested in. So like the study of people, the way we behave and the way we interact with each other. So I would say that aspect of it is the only thing that is transferable.
I was about to say, do you feel you have actually got a bit of a benefit from that course with your current job? Because I feel like, obviously, from what you've said, I think that has probably a massive effect on.
So I can write a good Instagram caption. That's what a dissertation is for.
Yep.
And yeah, the study of human behaviour in society. So I think when it comes to like my coaching and how I would respond or react to certain situations is I tend to dive a lot deeper into someone's life. If my client texts me and says, oh, I sacked everything off this week because I couldn't be arsed, like instead of just saying, well, what the fuck did you do that for? Like, let's dive into it a little bit, like what's going on. And they got stressed at their jobs, and I know that seems like common sense, but not a lot of people or a lot of coaches will actually take the time to look a little bit deeper. So that's the only thing that I think is transferable. And as well, I'm a little bit of a raging feminist, so I did write my degree.
A little bit.
10,000 words of straight feminism. And it's just about equality.
Yep.
It's not about female superiority, just about equality. I'm teaching Ben.
Listen, I am probably quite a feminist myself as well. Like I coach actually mostly women currently. Go women.
Thank you.
And all that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, equality, guys.
Exactly.
So where
was I? Uni. it was in my final year of uni, so my honours year, that I realised this wasn't for me. So my final 2 years of uni were actually in lockdown. So I had to drag myself to my desk at the end of my bedroom every day to try and finish writing my dissertation. It was an absolute slog.
Do you know what's really funny? I was still in secondary school when Skye was in university in lockdown. Just a wee age
We're
gap.
children.
Just a wee age gap.
I'm 24.
Yeah.
How old are
Did you mention you're 24?
I said I'm 24.
I said I'm 22 because I wanted to make that clear.
That there's an age difference.
Because instantly people will look at this and watch me speak to the camera and think, this guy's fucking 40.
That's what I was about to say. I hate to tell you, everybody that I say, oh, I'm hanging out with Ben or Ben's this, they're like, how old's that guy? Like 30?
How old is that guy? I still classify like myself as a boy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I wouldn't even think I'm a guy. Like, I was like, that boy over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yes, I'm 22 years old.
22.
Just in case everyone thinks I'm 30, because everybody thinks I'm like so much older than what I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a stressful childhood, so there's a lot of wrinkles and that going on. Anyway, sorry, back to what you're saying.
So, in my final year of uni, I just thought it was an absolute slog. Like, I didn't lose love for sociology or anything like that. It was just lockdown that made me hate it. Like, see, going to your desk every single day and sitting there, and I started to say to myself, right, if you write 200 words every single day, you'll make your dissertation deadline. So it was a bit of like, I was forcing myself to do it rather than actually wanting to do it. And it was about things that I was passionate about, but I just knew that kind of job, I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a modern studies teacher. But I just didn't think the kind of typical 9 to 5 would have worked for me. So as kind of lockdown started to happen and I started to kind of fall out of love with my degree, I started to go to the gym. So if you remember lockdown, there was kind of 2 parts to it. Like the first one where I got fat, then we were allowed out. The second one where I got a little bit too skinny. But in amongst that time, obviously I had dropped a lot of weight myself. I had a coach myself. It was really helpful. And I also found love for fitness. So when I finished up uni, I decided to pay for my PT qualification. It took me quite a while to complete that, actually. I'm going to say like almost a year.
I think, to be fair, that's another reason why I'm so glad that I went down like the full-time route.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it was one of those things where you are just like sucked into it. You need to learn it. You need to commit to it fully. Whereas like there's a lot of people these days who do their online course.
Yeah.
And I kind of just do it in the background. And I don't know, personally, I just think I think it worked better for me being fully encased by it. Like as in, this is what I'm doing. Like the same idea as like, obviously I'm understanding people need money depending on what age they are as well, but when people first get qualified, obviously they're working, you know, a lot of part-time hours as well in their current job, and they're doing PT kind of on the side, and then maybe like a year down the line they'll give it up because you can tell their heart's not in it, do you know what I mean? And they are just doing it for a case of like a little bit of side cash, you know what I mean? But I think that's probably down to the person themselves as well. But I feel like I was glad it was full-time because it was like you had no choice, you were committing to it. And at the end of the day, at the end of that 12 weeks, if you passed, that is you. You know what I mean?
So I did... Lost my train of thought again because of this guy. I did my
that happens quite a lot, to be fair.
I did my course online, and I was working at an ice cream shop. I'd worked there from when I was 15 until I was 22. So even once I got qualified, shout out to Vanilla Joe's.
V-Joe's, the best ice cream in the world, by the way. That's so good.
So I worked there for 7 years, from when I was 15 till I was 22, and it's where I met my best friend and my boyfriend. So I loved working there. I absolutely loved it.
Best friend and boyfriend. Exactly. That's dead nice.
So it actually took me a very long time to leave that job because it was such a big part of my childhood and I loved it so much. I was more than ready. I had a full diary and I was still scooping ice cream twice a week because I was just a little bit too scared. So I gradually started picking up shifts at Performance Gym, started taking on clients and still working in an ice cream shop. So I was still kind of... Obviously, you're just apprehensive. It's just a safety net. It was a bit of income and it was what I was used to.
I have a choice because I didn't work through my PT course. It was full time, so the only thing I could do was work weekends. And at that point, I wasn't working at the bar. Like, I had a job in between, so I worked at the bar and then left there. And then I got a job working in like a curtain packaging factory.
I did not know this.
In Irvine, did you not?
No.
So basically what it was I left that and I needed a job because I was like... Yeah, packaging curtains.
Is that why you've got shit here?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, don't call him a dodgy haircut. What was I saying there? Oh yeah, so left there, got my weekends back, so I was 18 years old, and I was like, I want to go out with my pals,
Yeah.
and my pals going out, and like all of them celebrate their birthdays, and I'm sitting working in a bar. So then I started working there, which was like 4 days on, 2 days off. I think it was like 8 o'clock till 5 o'clock, and all I was doing was literally like in the morning, going through the stockroom, picking up stuff, putting it through, packaging people's orders, putting it in a Royal Mail bag, and then when Royal Mail came, you take the trolleys out, they take it away, and people get their curtains. Happy days. I was a provider, what can I say? I was a provider.
No one needs to know about the curtain packing.
Where was I going with this again? Oh yeah, so once I was going for my PT course, I had to basically quit because I couldn't do any hours there. And I was like, right, okay, what I'll do is I'll start the PT course, but I will advertise and look for weekend work just to make a bit of money. Didn't work. No one wanted me. No one wanted me to work for them. So luckily I did put away very responsibly a good chunk of money to be able to survive and live off of whilst I was doing my PT course. And basically I didn't start making money until I had my first ever client, because it was pretty much a case of I did my PT course, and then the week after I qualified, I started working at the gym group in Irvine as my first job. And then I reckon it was like a month and a half until I got my first client, and then that was like my first ever bit of money in like the last 4 or 5 months. And once you start
making it yourself, it just feels different.
It does feel different. It does. Yeah.
You become a lot more responsible with it.
You do. To be fair, that's a good point to make about the 220-somethings podcast. Is like, I feel like when you're in your 20s, early 20s, like you're not really responsible. There's a lot of things you still need to learn, but almost getting involved in a job where you are self-employed and you are your own boss, it kind of forces you to become responsible, like, and it is a good thing. It is a good thing, like, because I definitely think if I went down a route that other people would go, I wouldn't be as business minded as I am right now. So it is a good thing, but nobody warns you about that. You know what I mean? And it's one reason why I think a lot of young PTs as well, they'll maybe do it for a year and then they'll sack it off, because it's overwhelming. It is very overwhelming, to be fair. Like, and it still is sometimes, depending. Like, even this is a business venture, and moving into like something that's new and different is always going to be scary, especially when
that's something I like about this job, though.
A child.
Like, no day's the absolute same. Like, see your typical 9 to 5. When are you going to be sitting in a podcast studio? But like, no one gave us this opportunity. Like, this is just something we decided to do on a Friday night for ourselves.
Exactly.
So, were we still talking about me?
We were at
why I decided to become a coach.
Yes.
I'm kidding on. But yeah, I suppose now I'll thank my dad for my good work ethic. But when I was 14, every single Saturday, my dad sent me to work in a beauty salon where I had to pick up pubes from the floor. I had to pick up waxy pubes from the floor.
Pubes?
And people's pubes from getting a back sack and crack.
Oh,
and then,
I thought you meant a hair salon, as in like...
A beauty salon.
A beauty salon? They're downstairs?
Yeah, if you get a wax, like, it just gets chucked on the floor. And
what? I thought it just sticks to the wax strips. That's the point of a wax.
Yeah, but like, you had to sometimes get the pubes and that off the floor.
So, I did not know that you were a pube picker.
Yeah, I was a pube picker.
Before pube picker to PT, that's your story.
Exactly. So every single Saturday, I worked about 7 in the morning till 5 at night, picking up pubes, making cups of tea for 20 quid and an eyebrow wax.
Sorry, I'm still so taken aback by picking up pubes. That's unbelievable. I can't believe that.
It made me the grafter I am today.
Oh my God, from rags to riches, literally.
Literally.
Pube picker to PT.
So yeah, I've been working. I've been out there.
You have been grafting. Like, I didn't get my first job till I was 18. Yeah. I wanted a job before that. I wanted a job through school, but no one would take me.
When you're young, it's all about who you know.
They all say the same things. They all go, oh, we're looking for someone with experience. How the fuck am I meant to get experience if I don't have a job?
Start picking up pubes.
Well, I wish my dad gave me a fucking job picking up pubes at the weekends. You know what I mean? Like, then I would have at least had a wee bit of money.
Yeah.
So
I've been working since I've been 14. I love working. It's probably my personality. Whatever I do, whether it is picking up pubes, scooping ice cream, or being a coach, it's a very big part of my life and something I pride myself on. So
passionate about it.
I decided to become a coach. It's a bit of a long-winded one, this one.
Here we go.
It's maybe a bit arsey as well, but I just didn't feel... Essentially, I became a coach because I wanted to be the role model, the leader, the female figure that a lot of girls my age didn't have when they were younger. So even if you think back to school, right, which was not very long ago for Ben, right, but 10 years ago for me, probably I was in school.
Something like that, yeah.
10 years ago for me, if you think about what physical education was.
Oh my God, was it? 10 years ago?
10 years ago, I would have been 14.
Oh. No, but like as in, I'm thinking since you left school.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, surely not 10 years.
When you think about like physical education in school, right? It is basketball, badminton, gymnastics. The boys played football, the girls sat on their arse and they wondered why none of the girls turned up for PE. When really, in life, is one individual going to end up partaking in all of those things? Probably not, but are they going to go through some real life issues like maybe being overweight, having a bad relationship with food, body image issues? Yes, more than likely. And these are things that you don't get taught in school. Well, you definitely didn't when I was there. So I think it does start from a very young age, just having not much education on things that are important and things that actually are real, like as opposed to learning about football and gymnastics and dancing.
Yeah.
No one does all of them. So I don't know if it is different now. You guys can tell me if it is. And I know some of my teachers follow me on Instagram. So
it's not.
If you want to take that back.
I was in school 2 minutes ago. It's not. It's still the same.
Yeah.
I was caught on the lucky side of it, to be fair. Like, I loved PE because it was just a case of you'd show up, you'd do a wee bit of classwork for like 20 minutes. If you like rammed through it, you get more time to play basketball. So I was like, this is brilliant. But it is still very much like probably similar. I don't know to be fair, because obviously I can't vouch for the last 4 years or however long, but it was the like very much the same case when I was in school. It is a case of the boys will play football, basketball, the girls will be like, I don't want to play football. Do you know what I mean? So, and then they'll just sit out and they won't really bother. So,
and then whilst you've got the education side of things, like you've also got the diet culture side of things, which a lot of girls my age have grew up surrounded by, and I just think that like a very large part of my job right now still to this day is undoing years of kind of toxic diet culture. So before I even get started with a client, before I even allocate them like calories and macros, it's just flat out, I'm not eating over 1,500 calories. I don't want to get fat. Lifting's going to get me fat. Like, and I know it sounds like these things are in the past, but they really, really aren't. Like, trust me, I work with females every single day. So yeah, a large part of my job is still kind of undoing those things that we were subject to when we were younger. And that's why I decided to become a coach, to just be that gym big sister that we all needed when we were growing up.
It's a good way of putting it. It is a very good way of putting it.
So that's a little bit about us.
That is, yeah.
So,
I feel like I didn't really dive in much to like where I'm at currently. Like, as in obviously you've mentioned that you work with women and stuff like that.
Yeah. So who do you work with?
So I right now have a bit of a mix. However, promotion wise, I will promote towards working with beginners, because my ethos or my kind of theory is the sooner we can create good habits and cancel out any bad habits, the better it's going to be for your journey. So if I can get someone from the very beginning stages, like a young guy come to me and says he wants to build a little bit of muscle, I can make sure he doesn't make any of the mistakes that I made when I first started. So it's kind of similar to the route you're taking with like the big sister that everyone needs idea. And yeah, there's a lot of people that come to me that have maybe had previous coaches that have maybe embedded some, incorrect thoughts or incorrect ideas around nutrition or training. Maybe not incorrect, well, even though some of them are, to be fair. Some of them I've heard some shockers. I'm not going to say any, but...
this also isn't going to be one of these podcasts, by the way, where we just get behind the mic and slag people.
No, we're not going to do that. Because
that's not a body. But we are pals with PT David Wilson, so we can't make any promises.
Yeah, we can't make any promises. We will probably start slagging him. Baldy. Baldy. Most of the time we're probably just going to talk about food on here, because me and Skye love our scran. Like,
I interrupted you there, sorry.
Yeah.
So if you could catch someone right from the very beginning of their journey.
Yes, exactly. If you could catch someone right at the very beginning, you have the opportunity to mould them into basically the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, as in, you have an opportunity to basically embed all the correct thoughts, all the correct ideas about their journey, because at the end of the day, you are going to be there from the start, and whatever you do is probably going to stick with them for a very long time.
This is where as well it's really, really important to do your research on a coach before you pick them. Because there's loads of good coaches out there, but not all of them will be the right fit for you. Like, some of Ben's clients might not work well with me, some of my clients might not work well with Ben, because we do things slightly differently. So yeah, speak to like other people's clients, scroll right back on their Instagram, ask them for their qualifications, because it's a very, what's the word, when something's not like checked?
I don't know.
Like when it's not, what's the word where, you know how anyone can be an online coach without a qualification?
If it's an online coach that isn't qualified, I would probably just say a fanny. I'm joking.
No, but you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
it's there's no bigger body, like governing body, like checking qualifications.
Yes.
So ask your coach for the qualifications, ask them for their PT certificate, ask them who they did their training with. So yeah, do your research on your coach first, because I've heard this quite a lot recently. The industry is saturated, but it's saturated with shite.
It is very much saturated with shite. It does bug me how easy it is to become a coach. Now that is quite a statement for me to make, considering that all I had to do was pay money and do 12 weeks of full-time work to become one.
Get where you're coming from with this one, but I personally find this one hard to comment on because, again, I paid for a course. I was 19 years old and I was overweight.
Exactly.
So would I have qualified myself now looking back? Maybe not.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying I find it sometimes a bit awkward to say that.
Yeah.
It's more just a case of certain people give you a certain example of what is the wrong way of going about it when you first start out. Like, as in, like, people will just gather the PT course, take full advantage of it. They maybe won't get the exact return that they're looking for, and they'll just give it a
like you
bang.
said as well, like, there's a very high rate of people who stop PTing or stop coaching after a year.
Exactly.
So if you go into it thinking, oh, I'm going to make tons of money, or oh, I'm going to pick up hundreds of clients, like, get that out of your brain now because it's an absolute graft.
Like, I have had people have conversations with me and they're talking about how they're starting PT, and I'm like, how's it going? And they're like, oh, it's just shite, man, like, I'm hardly making any money and all that. And I'm like, that's the first thing that you're talking about is money. Personally, I think you're in it for the wrong reason. Like, I understand, again, I am understanding that people have bills to pay, people need money to survive, people need an income, you know what I mean? But I think with an industry like this, you need to be in it for more than a reason of just money. You need to be in it because, like, the first thing that they should be saying to me is, oh, it's not going too well because I'm not getting any clients, like, as in, like, I really want to start coaching people.
Passion
you know what I mean?
first, penny second.
Exactly. Very well said. Very well said. So yeah, sometimes it does bug me because of certain people.
Unregulated. It's a very unregulated industry.
There we go. We got it in the end. We got it in the end. Yeah, sometimes it does bug me how easy it is to become a PT. But again, I have a cheek to say that because I had a pretty easy route getting into it. You know what I mean? Like,
we've all got to start somewhere, but that's where you've got to look at the PTs who set themselves apart with their further education, with reinvesting back into their business by doing things like this, creating cool content, becoming more educated, because you do just get a bit of paper, like, and then you start paying rent at a gym, and then you start PT, and next thing you know, you've broke somebody's leg, and you're out of business. So,
yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah, you are very much like papped at the door. You become a PT, and it's 100%. Like, okay, go do it, and you're just like, where do I start? Which, to be fair, I will give it its credit. Gym Group, obviously, is quite a exactly. It's a mainstream gym. It's not the best equipment and stuff like that, but however, the system that you're kind of getting into at the beginning, where you've not got an income to be able to pay a gym rent, if you're someone like myself who wasn't working previously, where you would just go there, dedicate hours in the gym to basically cover your opportunity to PT in there without any cost, was ideal, because again, I didn't have any money to be able to pay rent. Well, I'd be scraping pennies basically to do it. And also as well, you're doing 12 hours a week. That's 12 hours on a gym floor where you are out talking to people, getting a bit of lead gen to then transfer into clientele.
Because that's where we're a little bit different as well. So when you talk to mentors and when you go to these courses, they tell you to start in a commercial gym like the Gym Group, because you've got the footfall, like you said, they kind of sort you out with your rent, your hours, and there's a lot more kind of beginner friendly and lifestyle kind of clients there. So you've got a bigger pool to find clients in, but so you started off there, and I did not start off in a commercial gym. I started in performance gym, just because it was honestly where my heart lied. I had kind of two options to PT. I could either go in and ask my current gaffer for a job, or I could walk into the other gym just with ease, just because I knew them. So actually, when I did ask performance gym for a job, they said no. Would you believe it?
Oh.
And I remember growing up, right, my mum always...
She doesn't mean it. She doesn't mean it.
Growing up, my mum printed everything off for me at work, right? But the day it came to printing off my CV to go and give to PG, I was like, no, I'm too nervous, man. My mum's going to judge me.
I don't know how you did it. I would have pat my chance. Genuinely, I don't know how you did that.
I printed my CV off at Big Tesco. I took it on a wee dongle.
A dongle? What's a dongle?
A USB.
Oh.
Does your mum and dad know call it a dongle?
You printed it out?
I did, but I gave my USB to the women at Tesco to print it off.
Oh, right. I thought you meant you took a USB and like they just opened up on their laptop as a Word document.
No, so
Skye Gibbons.
I went to Tesco with my dongle to print off my CV, and all it had on it was 7 years ice cream scooper. A little bit choppy.
Pube picker.
Please make me a PT, give me a job.
Pube picker.
So I was going into the gym that day for a session, remember it vividly. I was eating a cheese sandwich in Tesco car park, and I was like, right, and I took a video of it because I thought, I know deep down that I'm going to be good at this one day and I can look back at this video.
You've posted said video before,
I've posted the video.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is me eating my cheese sandwich. I'm going to go and ask for a job. So I did my training session. I trained for absolutely ages because I was so nervous. I had a shite session and I went through, and I was hoping it was going to be like one of my pally workers that were working there, and it was the two gaffers. And I was like, hi guys, I was just wondering if you have any space to PT.
I would have saw that and instantly just went, nah, I'll do it another time, or I'm just not doing it. I am like, I
had someone there with me who was like, it's now or never.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I was like, I've done it. And they very nicely just said, there's no room at the inn. We're full. All hours are covered. Yappa, yappa, yappa. And at this time, I was only level 2 qualified. So I was just looking for like an actual job there to sell Monster, kind of learn the ropes and stuff like that. And then a week later, I was doing my own training session and they were like, you know what? We'll give you a Sunday shift. Every single Sunday.
We're going to give you a chance. One chance.
One chance to sell
like a movie.
Monster.
One chance. Sell the best Monster you've ever sold in your life.
So that's how I got started. Scooped ice cream, posted on Instagram, sold Monster with a smile on my face, and boom, the people loved it.
Yeah, there we go. Ice cream scooper, pube picker, PT. We've got bar guy. What would you call that? Barman? Bartender. Curtain packer. Personal trainer.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our roadmap kind of thing. That is a bit of an introduction as to who we are, how we started. A
long introduction.
Very much so. I mean, again, we did want the first episode to be a bit about who we are, because at the end of the day, there might be people that don't know who we are who are watching us. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Unlikely. Please watch the podcast. That don't know who we are. So by this first episode, hopefully you have a bit more of an insight as to us. We are literally just two normal people, came from normal jobs before.
For yourself.
Well, you're pretty iconic now, but
thanks.
I'm working my way up there, to be fair.
Keep hanging about with me and you'll get there.
Yeah, I need a glow up sign and then I've made it. As soon as I get a glow up neon sign, then I know I've made it as an icon.
Right, so let's chat about how this came about, how we became friends.
Okay.
Because we are a dynamic duo. We give off big sis little bro vibes. So how did we become pals?
We became pals literally just from being in like the same circle. Like as in...
We became pals from being little rotters.
Little rotters. We found out each other like that.
We've got a mutual love for poo talk and farting.
That's I think one of the first questions I asked her. I was like, "You going for a jobby?"
You shat today?
I know. I was like, "How many times you shat today?" I was like, or actually, probably one of the first interactions was when you farted, and I was like, "That's absolutely humdinging." And then for the best pals ever since.
So we are obviously similar in ages. Ben likes to highlight that I'm slightly older. So Performance Gym Irvine opened last year, but we were both members at PG Coinning.
Yeah.
And I started working there whilst you were a member. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Yes, because I stayed around the corner, so I already trained there, even when I was working at the gym group. I trained there before, actually. I trained there when I was working in my first job. Yeah.
And we didn't talk then?
Nope.
No. We just passed by.
Secret beef almost.
Secret beef?
I don't know. I felt like there was a bit of an aura because like we're both young.
I just
started out at similar times.
You never said hi.
Like I'd walk into Coinning and be like, all right. As if like, how are you getting on with your clients kind of thing? You know what I mean?
How many you got?
I wasn't actually like that, to be fair. That sounds pure toxic. I'd be watching PT, but like, oh, yeah, looks quite busy, aye. Not bad as well. Bit of secret beef.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't actually secret beef, to be fair. I was just kidding on. But yeah, no, we didn't really speak at all.
It just passes by.
I think there was one time where you were in the gym and I was training my mates and I was like, oh, there's Skye G Fit. And you went, oh, there's Full Le Mans Fitness. And I was like, oh.
That was it.
And that was it. Literally nothing after that. I was like, right, see you later, bye.
Yeah. And then Performance Gym Irvine opened 2024? Yeah.
Yeah, last year.
Early 2024. You were already over there.
I was.
Before I came.
I was.
And then we have got a lot of coaches in our gym, a lot of good coaches. But Ben and I are obviously similar ages, like similar vibes.
Yep.
We were in the gym quite a lot, so when we had gaps, we were just kind of chatting, hanging about with each other.
Yep.
And that is how this dynamic duo were formed.
It was, aye, definitely. It was just a case of us spending a bit more time with each other, kind of realising that we're quite pally and we get on quite well, to be fair. And then, now we're here. We literally spoke about it for...
we spoke about it for a month, but because Ben is type B, it took him 2 to 3 working weeks to actually message the podcast studio. So that's why we were planning it on the way up here in the car.
We made the joke and it was like, oh, are you going to organise it or am I? And you're like, I'll let you organise it.
No, because I am the organiser, you are a transfer moneyer and show up 10 minutes later.
Yeah. I'm not going to not admit that. That's absolutely spot on. That is me. That's because I am type B. But this time we set a challenge and we organised it so that I was going to organise the podcast.
Yeah, he was literally standing having a 20-minute conversation with me and he was like, yeah, give them a message later when I've got time. And I was like, what are you doing right now? You're just standing in front of me right now.
I know. To be fair, it was probably a bit of nerves, to be fair, because I was almost like, when I messaged them, I was like, oh my God, this is actually becoming a bit real now.
Yeah.
Like, we are going to have our podcast. And now we have a podcast, to be fair. But
I think I get really, really, like, obviously on my Instagram, my social media and stuff, I come across quite confident, but I will literally rock back and forth on the edge of my bed all week thinking about this moment. And I said this to you in the car on the way up, like, Mark literally looked me in the eye. Mark's my boyfriend, by the way. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. Hey, Mark.
So Mark literally looked at me and he was like, you always feel like this.
Yes.
You always give yourself anxiety and then you go and do these things, you get a pure buzz for it and you come back and you tell me how great it was. And and I'm getting a little bit more comfy now.
Purely imposter syndrome. Like, really, really random point, but I experience quite a lot of imposter syndrome when I come back from being away from work. Like, if I went on holiday,
that when you were away.
Really strange. I go away for a holiday, I'll come back and I've almost got like a 1 or 2 day imposter syndrome, like big time. Like, it's almost, I come back and I'm just like, I went from being just a normal guy, like hanging out with my mates, doing whatever, to now come back and I've got a business and a clientele and people who are, I know it sounds pure cringy, right? But it's like a clientele who like rely on me and look at me as someone who's a responsible person, and now I need to be said person. And it is, again, sometimes along the lines of, like, again, we are young individuals who own a business and it's almost like it's a lot of responsibility. So I do get imposter syndrome, to be fair. And again, on the car up here, I was kind of experiencing a lot of that. I was like, oh my God, I like listen to podcasts and I watch podcasts.
Is that why your driving was like that?
No, let's not put this out into the universe. No. My driving's actually very safe. I've been told by many people.
92, whatever it is.
Right, Stig over here. Do you know who the Stig is?
No.
What? You don't know who the Stig is?
No.
Oh my God, this is who we're dealing with, people. Skye has clearly never watched Top Gear. Gear.
Well, Ben turned up at my house and had to do a 50-point turn.
What did he say?
He sent me a voice note and he was like, I might need to do a jobby before we go. And then he did a 50-point turn to get out my street.
Did you see that?
Yes, you know, me and Mark were standing like, what is this?
Oh, Mark saw it as well. Fantastic, great. So Mark thinks I'm a loser now. Fantastic. That's another thing that we know. I've got to have like a bit of a secret thing with Mark.
Yeah, it's like
it's very much a bromance.
When they tour together, I don't exist.
It's very much a bromance. Mark will vouch, he'll watch this and he'll love it because I've admitted it on camera. But yeah, 50-point turn. There was a guy behind me and I was panicking. I was like,
I'm panicking.
I've done this so wrong. I want to turn around because I don't want to, be late. See, we were actually on point to be on time here.
Yeah,
but
just if you didn't take us in the complete wrong direction at the end, we would have been bang on time.
It would have been 5 minutes of a difference, people. It would have been 5 minutes of a difference. Skye just likes to highlight that I'm slightly immature or something.
Imposter syndrome, 100% real. Like, I genuinely thought I was getting pranked. Like, so see, last month, I thought I was being punked. Last month, I had an inquiry from a new client and she sent me a voice note and she wasn't from here and I was like, what is some person wanting to work with wee old me?
Yeah.
What what was it about? How have you found me? Why have you found me? She was in really good shape as well, and I was like, this is fake. I'm being pranked. And then got her started, got her consultation form. She sent me money. The number connected straight away on WhatsApp. She was a real person, and she's my client. But I was like, why does someone from all the way down in London want to work with me in Irvine? So sometimes you get imposter syndrome, but I also think it's a sign that you're about to level up.
Yeah,
like thinking about everything that I've got on next year and what me and my clients are going to do makes me a little bit nervous, but it makes me excited as well.
But that does eventually become a norm, like as in if you do suffer with imposter syndrome, you do eventually, if you've taken a leap to pursue whatever it is you've got said imposter syndrome about, it does become a normality. Like as in, I remember I probably experienced massive imposter syndrome the first ever time a client turned around and was like, yeah, I'll go for that. Like as in, you've sat them down, you've had your consultation with them, you've discussed what you can offer them, and they go, yeah, that's fine, I'll go for it. And you're like,
that was easy.
Holy shit. You're like, oh my God, now someone's going to pay me money to...
Cha-ching.
I know, exactly. Dala dala. I'm going to start fucking racking up an Amazon wish list. But yeah, it's like, it does eventually become a normality because now it's something that you don't really think about. You know, you just expect them to come to you. Because we're big time. No, joking.
Stop. That needs to go.
It does need to go.
That needs to go.
It does need to go.
So yeah, friends, colleagues, coaches as well. And what's interesting
best
about me...
Best friends, I'd say.
That's a bit far.
No, we discussed this last week. I feel like...
No, we didn't.
Did we not?
No.
Oh, I think I said someone else. I was like, I think Skye's probably like one of my best friends.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I like you too. I'm kidding on.
That's terrible. That is terrible. I'd say we're best friends. We're pretty close, to be fair now.
Yeah. Like the gay best friend I never had. We're just a gal's gal.
I'm a gal's gal. Yeah, very much. As we said earlier on, women.
Yeah. Obviously, like we said, friends, coaches, colleagues. And one thing I like about us is, yes, we're very, very similar, but we also have our own strengths and we do things quite differently. So that's where being friends, but also colleagues works quite well because if someone's a little bit stuck on anything, we can come and kind of bounce off each other. Like, for example, I had a client wanting to run a 10K.
Yes, that's the example I was thinking of.
Does your gal run 10Ks? No, she doesn't. She runs to the kebab shop.
Yes. Only when there's a cheeseburger at the end of it.
Too far.
Sorry. I thought you were going down that route, so I was like, right, okay, I'll relay it.
I'm kidding on. So, obviously, I'm a personal trainer, but I love resistance training. It's where my heart lies. It's where my knowledge lies. But running, not so much. Do you know who is a hybrid coach in all areas? My good friend Ben Burns. So
to an extent, yeah. Yeah,
turned to him for a little bit of advice on that. And yeah, if a girl's bleeding from her vagina, he'll do the same.
Exactly. No, absolutely spot on. I don't think there's anything toxic about having someone that you're close with that you can fully admit is better at something than you. And is more, I felt
awkward about asking about the running.
And is more experienced about it, but I don't see any shame in that because at the end of the day, you cannot be, perfect at everything. You know what I mean? Like you need to have an area of, your speciality to an extent. And if someone does approach you and it's a client you've already had and they want to do something a bit different, I don't see any harm. And I don't feel embarrassed either to turn around to you and go, Skye, I need your advice on XYZ.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it ties into that factor of once you become a coach, you should always be educating yourself.
Yeah.
And if you're kind of keeping yourself, a bit more locked into your own way of thinking, I feel like you're probably closing off a massive window of opportunity for, coaching and other things. At the end of the day, I like to be fair, the reference I like to use is I like to say that my coaching style was like a Frankenstein. So it's very much built up and it's like picked up by little pieces of different bits of knowledge I've learned over the years of being a coach.
Yep.
So I've got a bit of my Frankenstein, which is from what I learned in my course. I've got a bit of my Frankenstein, which is literally one wee point that a guy who was teaching me how to train in calisthenics like 2 years ago told me that now I'll incorporate into one of my clients' programs. So it is very much a Frankenstein of information that I've learned over the years, and I feel that is a good way to be as well.
And a lot of people don't like that approach. A lot of people are kind of stuck in their ways, and you got a lot of slack for doing things like High Rocks.
I have received a lot of slander in the past, hence why I'm now running with the wolves. I'm now going to be competing in bodybuilding next year.
No, you're not a sheep.
I'm not a sheep. I'm a black sheep.
You are actually, hate to say it out loud, pretty good at a lot of things, pretty good in a lot of different areas.
Thank you.
And that takes us on to another debate. Like, what is everyone's issue with people just doing things a little bit differently from them? Like, exactly. I feel like as a coach, you should be happy that people are trying to be fit, trying to be healthy, trying to move their body, regardless of whether it is high rocks, running, CrossFit, bodybuilding. It's not one size fits all or one way or the highway. Yep. Even within just bodybuilding itself, you've got that very like new school versus old school. Yep. And I train hard and I have learned a lot from old school bodybuilders, but I will do single arm pull downs with my tripod.
You will use a cuff.
I will use a cuff and I will be controversial.
I don't see any. I really don't see any harm unless what you're doing is causing harm to yourself or others. Go for it if you enjoy it, and it's at the end of the day. I personally think that the best results are going to happen from doing the things that you enjoy, because at the end of the day, that's the stuff you're going to put the most effort into. So exactly. If you are getting given a program or you're doing a program that your heart's not in it at all, probably not going to be a lot of progress made in that, because it's not something that your heart's in. You know what I mean? I think you should be able to be a bit more diverse with your training, whatever it is. Mix it up a little bit to build your kind of ideal training routine.
I just think people are getting a little bit righteous, aren't they?
Yeah.
Commenting on what other people are up to.
Exactly.
Just mind your bees. Mind your bees.
So yeah, should we wrap things up?
Wrap things up? Is that time?
I think it is. It's.
Jesus.
I know. I was thinking that. I was starting to feel a little bit
bad.
We'll
wrap it up.
I know. We knew this was going to happen. We are grade A yappers.
Right.
Me especially, to be fair.
I'm flabbergasted.
I know. This has been great fun.
It has been fun. We will be back. We hope you guys enjoyed watching.
So, I mean, a couple questions that we could leave the people with, whoever is watching this, could be if you've enjoyed it, firstly, if you've enjoyed listening to this podcast, maybe some things you'd like to see on the podcast in the future, whether we go down the route of bringing on guests, whether we go on to be a bit more interactive with you guys in terms of what you want to see, or if you just want us to just keep coming by and chatting shit and just listening away.
So
give us an idea of what you'd like to see, if you've enjoyed what you have watched today, listened to, whatever, and
just keep an eye out on my socials, Ben's socials. We'll be kind of collaborating together. Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. And exactly like Ben said, if there's anything that you guys would like us to discuss in a little bit more detail, or if you want to just hear a little bit more about what we are up to, so next year, what our plans are, then keep following along and let us know what you think.
I think that's a wrap. Woo! That's a wrap. First podcast. 220 somethings.
Oh yeah, that's
where's the thing? Wait. Cut.